Hi, team.
Hey, team.
Hey, it's been a while since we came to you on video, but we had a couple things that we wanted to go over with you, and emails are really long to read sometimes.
Yes.
So first, I just wanted to say thank you. Thank you for serving on our team. You know that over the past several weeks, we've been trying to communicate that we need more team members. And so for that reason, I want to make sure you know how much we are thankful for you.
And you guys have done some great jobs, like, trying to reel some people in and
Yes.
just give them some information.
Thank you. Thank you. Hey, I wanted to remind you that, I hope you don't think you just do kids ministry, or you just watch babies for an hour and a half, or, you just play a few games. Never forget that you are having a kingdom impact. Seriously. How many of you can think back and remember a Sunday school teacher? I can tell you, I accepted Christ in like 2nd or 3rd grade, and I remember my Sunday school teacher talking.
Yes.
I don't even can remember what her role was, but that was part of it. Never forget, even if you're working with younger ones who maybe aren't ready to make that decision, my goodness, if not for you, could these parents even have a Sunday where they sit and are fed and fellowship? And please, please, please know what you do is so important. So important. And we really do thank you for it. Please always feel free to reach out to us.
Yes, absolutely.
We know there's a lot of changing things going on, so please always feel free to reach out to us with questions or suggestions or anything like that.
We're not always in the moment. We're in another moment, possibly. So just know that your voice is important to us.
Yes.
We want to hear if you see something that's not working, or that's missing, or that's doing great, or you have a team member that you work with that's amazing. Like, we want to hear all of that stuff.
Yes, please tell us. So one of the first things we wanted to go over with you guys, because it's something we've kind of always said, but the last 6 months, I feel like the last 2.5 years have been so tumultuous, and we've seen some people leave our team, more people join our team, so we want to make sure that the message is still out there.
Yeah.
One of the main things that would really help our area run more smoothly, especially now when we're in these lovely temporary, not so temporary quarters, is if every teacher could be in their room 20 minutes before their service time. So this is actually something we've always asked for, but you might be like, oh really, I never heard that, because it just kind of gets lost in the shuffle. So we just wanted to reiterate that again. If you could be in your classroom 20 minutes before the service time that you are serving, okay? And there's a couple reasons for this. One of the reasons is kids come in 15 minutes beforehand. We want to let them in 15 minutes beforehand because some of their parents need to get to a serving area.
Yep.
Some of their parents, let's face it, that's their only time with the church family. So we just want to do all we can do to give them that time. And as you know, our check-in line can be quite long, so we really need to start checking them in early in order to get them in on time. So that's one of the reasons. But really, for me, the biggest reason is just being a good family member. Because if you serve any service but the first, and you're late, what you're doing is taking, unfortunately, some of that time away from the teacher who's stuck in there. I don't say stuck because, they don't want to be there, but they've done their service, joyfully so, and now is their turn to get out and, go to the restroom.
Yep.
Maybe get a coffee, greet some of their friends, get in there and worship. Many, I am sad to say, of our teachers are missing the first song of worship, sometimes more than the first song of worship, because the next team member isn't getting there on time. I know no one is doing this purposefully. That's why we just wanted to remind you. It's really important. We realize that means that you might have to scooch out of church early.
Yeah.
And Jamie and I were just talking about a book we read with our staff last year. And what was one thing they said about when you're in ministry?
So when you're in ministry, it's you're making a sacrifice. You have to. You've kind of made a commitment by saying that, yes, you want to be a part of this family. And just as Jesus made sacrifices for us, we have to make those same sacrifices. And if that means missing, 5 minutes of the service, the great news is that it's recorded and on YouTube. So you can always go back.
Which Jamie and I often take advantage of.
Yes.
Because quite honestly, we have missed entire services quite a bit lately.
Yeah.
We are building up our team again. We are very thankful. And we are thankful for you. And we realize that is a big ask, but we're asking it not for us, and honestly, not even for the kids, but for the other people who serve with you. Just so that, again, just goes back to, so when do I get to fellowship with my friends then, you know? And that's a big part of Sunday. Please just put that in your schedule. Come earlier, right? So come earlier so that you can do that before service if you know that you're going to have to scooch out in time. So we would really, really appreciate that from you. And I know your team members would appreciate it too. So that being said, most of you know that some time changes are coming. And we are going to share that with you in just a moment. Okay, so let me just give you a little peek back into our discussions on 3 services. What we did as we discussed when these times would be is we looked back at some of the data we had from the times where we've had 3 services in the past. And what we noticed, the aim of everything is to more evenly spread out our attendance on Sunday in every service. We realize that middle one is always going to be the highest attended, but we want to reduce that as much as we can because that's kind of the one that visitors choose. So how do we make sure the early one isn't too early and the last one isn't too late so that people don't want to choose it? So please know, all of that was a lot to think about. And then we had to think about, well, time between services. You know how, for us, especially in kids ministry, that can be really difficult. But putting too much time in between, you guessed it, made the early service too early or the later service too late. So that being said, let me show you our new times. Actually, these are the exact same times that we had right before COVID really hit the United States in 2020. And when we had 8:30, 10, and 11:30, these 2 services were pretty evenly divided. Like, I'm trying to remember, like 120, 150. But when we changed this to 8:15, it dropped considerably. So that's the reason why we're not going back to 8:15. Also, we want families to come. Oh my word, you guys know, we have so many new families coming. This is an option for families. 8:15 is not really an option. So 8:30, 10, 11:30. That means if you're going to kind of put into practice what we asked at the beginning of this video, if you serve at 8:30, you'll be in your class by 8:10. If you serve at 10, you'll be in your class by 9:40. If you serve at 11:30, you'll be in your class by 11:10. And when this is done, we're gonna give another quick little, just like a 2-minute thing for people who serve on this side of campus in the connections area. So stick around. But meanwhile, this starts March 19th. So if we have not communicated with you by some chance, and you're already seeing a problem maybe that doesn't match with what you serve now, please let us know as soon as you can. Thanks, guys.
One of the other reasons that we need you guys to be in your rooms early is because if you've ever been here on a Sunday morning and you've seen this room, it is pure chaos. And we would like to make this strictly just large group only. So we're gonna move 1st and 2nd grade out into their rooms, and then and we would like them all to start off kindergarten, preschool, 1st, 2nd grade in their rooms, so that we don't have them trying to transition from a playroom to a large group room. It's really hard for the large group teacher to get that back in, and they also need some time to prep and hide some things and just kind of get in a mindset of what they're about to present to these kids. I'm not saying that.
That's it, guys. Thanks for sticking around and hearing a little bit of our video and some few reminders. Again, I just want to thank you. Please remember, an hour and a half of your time on Sundays, truly, it could mean the difference in someone's eternity, a kid's or a parent's. And we've seen it happen, so I'm not just saying those words, but I've seen it. And I am so thankful for each and every one of you. If you have any questions, please reach out. Bye, guys.